Today I'm going to be trying out some new kitchen gadgets to see how well they work. First, I'm going to be trying out two different styles of corn peelers. This one is a pretty simple design. It just has a row of teeth here on the bottom to strip the corn kernels right off the cob. So let's try it out. I'm going to be trying the corn peelers out on both fresh corn and some frozen corn that I defrosted. Seems to be working pretty good so far. So let's keep going. It's super sharp, so it really goes right through the corn really easy. You just have to be careful to kind of keep your fingers out of the way while you're pulling it down. It's making a little bit of a mess, but I could have put a bigger bowl here also. So I don't think that's the fault of the peeler. Let me see if I can get these last few kernels right here. And here it is, almost a completely stripped cob. Let me try another one. It works really good until you get about right in here, then there's a little bit of resistance. And I'm not sure if it's because the cob gets bigger here or what, but overall it's working pretty good. Let me try it from this end. Not too bad. So let's say you can't get any fresh corn and you want to strip the corn off of some frozen cobs. Let's try this out. The frozen ones, since I defrosted them, are a little bit more mushy, of course, than the fresh corn, but it's still working pretty good. Get those few pieces there if I can. Yeah, it is a little mushy, but I also had to soak it in water to defrost it. So let me try one more. Yeah, I'd say as an overall, it's worked pretty good on both the frozen and the fresh corn. It does work a little better on the fresh corn only because the frozen corn was a little mushier from where I had to defrost it in the water. Next, I'll try this style of corn cutter. So this corn stripper actually can double as a grater also with this attachment. I won't be needing this for the corn, but you can place this on the top, let's see, like that, and you can grate your cheese or whatever you're going to be grating. And it also has measurements on the side, so it can be used as a measuring cup. So to use this one, you simply place the corn stripper on top and you push your corn in halfway. And it didn't quite hit the bottom, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. And then you turn it the opposite way and use this little contraption here to do the other side. Guess it'd be easier just to go ahead and pull it through. It kind of did an odd thing there to the corn. Maybe it was my fault for not pushing hard enough. So let's try another one. I wanted to try the larger end of the corn first, but I think it's going to be harder to line up inside of here. So let me go with this one. Yeah, that one's a little wonky too, not as bad as the other one. Let's check this corn out. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't really cutting off part of the cob, and it doesn't look like it is. So now I'm going to try it with some of my frozen corn. And for this, I'm actually going to use the little safety holder because these cobs are obviously shorter and I'll end up hitting my fingers on the teeth if I don't. Well, it actually worked. Did not work as well as a fresh corn. And again, I think that's to be expected, being that this corn has been frozen and defrosted in water. And I'll put it back in just to finish this one side. If it'll go. Might not be able to get this back out of there very easy. All right, there we go. As I said before in these videos, I love just trying stuff out, seeing how it's going to work, and also seeing how it's going to work with different things. Obviously, the previously frozen corn is not going to work that well. It did work better with the other cutter that I used. It did not work so well with this one. Next, I'm going to be trying out some baggie holders. And I bought these as a 2-pack, so I'll throw one over there. And what they're meant to do is hold up your baggies or Ziploc bags or whatever you're using. They have a rubber ring around the bottom, which it's not really like a suction cup or anything, but it's supposed to be like a non-skid surface. But this surface is pretty slick, so it doesn't really hold too well. But basically, you just clip your bags inside here to hold them up while you put stuff in them. First, I have some of these fold and close bags, which I don't even know why we have these. We don't use these at all. So these were probably bought by mistake. But let's try them out. These are awful thin plastic, so I'm not sure how well this is going to work as far as it being able to hold it up while you put something in it. So let me try to pour some nuts in and see if it'll hold it. Yeah, because these are so thin, they tend to close kind of easy. Yeah, it's slipping out, at least on this one side. It didn't do too bad of a job, really, but see, there it goes. But I don't think it's made for these type of bags anyway. So now I'm going to try just a standard size Ziploc bag. And I'm thinking these are going to work a little bit better because there's more surface area up here for these clips to hold on to. So I'll slide this in here. Slide that one there. Make sure it's all the way at the top. So I'm going to open this up a little bit more. Let's try it out. Yeah, that worked flawlessly, perfect. And the reason that I'm even using the nuts to begin with is because they actually have a little weight to them. So that would be a good way to try this thing out. All right, I'm gonna try it one more time and I'm just gonna really pour these in here fast. Look at that, it held it still all the way at the top. I don't think it moved at all. So this is a pretty cool little gadget. Another cool feature about this is you can extend these out for your larger bags. So you can go all the way up to fit your gallon size bags. So let's try one of these out. Clip this in. The clips seem to be holding it pretty tight. Open this up all the way. One of two things are going to happen here. Either this thing's going to work as well as I think it's working, or I'm going to have a big mess. But I'm going to pour in some water in here fairly quickly to see if it holds. And there it is. If it did slip down at all, it wasn't much. So I definitely like this gadget. Next, I have the Rapid Pizza Reheater. It says to reheat the perfect pizza in the microwave. No more soggy pizza. Reheats delicious pizza every time. Fresh out of the box taste. BPA free and dishwasher safe. So let's try it out. I've got a couple pieces of leftover frozen pizza here, nothing too fancy, that I cooked last night. And I purposely cooked the crust a little more done than I would like, to test out if this thing would give a crispy crust. It says to fill this with water to the fill line. Place pizza on the tray and heat it up for 1 minute. So let's see how it does. Pizza's ready. Let's check it out. Well, all I've succeeded so far in doing is making a mess with that water. But this crust is definitely not crisp at all. As a matter of fact, the cold pizza has a much crispier crust than this one. I'm not sure what the deal is with this. The funny thing is, it says no more soggy pizza, yet it actually makes it soggier than it was to begin with. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have the same results again, but I'll try it out one more time. All right, let's check this one out, and same results. Super soggy crust. So I would say this is definitely not the best way to reheat pizza. It seems like you might as well be reheating it just on a plate. I mean, I don't think it could do any worse. Next, I'm going to be trying out the Pogo Whisk. It's a whisk that you push, the head of the whisk spins. It says it's used for faster whipping, mixing, blending, and frothing. So let's try this out. So this thing works by, as you push the handle down, it twists and makes the whisk turn. It has a really strong feel to it, and also this seems to spin at a really good rate if you're really getting at it. So I think this is going to work pretty good. When I had originally saw these demonstrated, the thing they kept showing was frothing milk. Personally, I don't have a reason to do that, but it was very impressive and it looked pretty cool. So I'm going to start out with some milk and see how it does. So I guess if you want to have frothy milk, this would work pretty well. And it takes considerably less effort than using a regular whisk and doing all that spinning. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to try it out on some eggs. So you may be wanting to make scrambled eggs or maybe a batter or anything like that. Definitely quicker and easier than a regular whisk, no doubt about it. I mean, I'm not even pushing this thing up and down very much, and it really scrambles those eggs quick. And if you were wanting to make a batter to fry something, you could add a little bit of milk in here to make an egg wash. Yep. So far, I really like this thing a lot. Let's say you want to make yourself some chocolate milk. Put a little chocolate in there, and let's see how it works on this. And that's it. A lot of times when you make chocolate milk, you end up with chocolate along the corners at the bottom of the glass that the spoon won't get. This got every bit of it out of there. Really with just a few pushes of it. So that's pretty cool. One more way I want to try the Pogo Whisk is to make protein shakes. Both me and my wife use protein shakes as meal replacements and sometimes to supplement our regular meal to keep the carbs down. Typically we use one of these blender bottles, but if you used one of these before, you know a lot of times it's really hard for this little ball in here to mix up your protein shake as well as it should be. And if you make your shakes on the go, it's a lot more difficult because you don't have access to a blender. Typically to make our shakes, we use water, we use a little bit of whole milk in there, and about a scoop of the shake powder. So let's see how the whisk does on this. I sped that up so you wouldn't have to watch me do that for about 30 seconds. And I would say as an overall, it did pretty good. There is a little bit still left on the top, but really it works better than the blender bottles we use. And another issue is the bottom of this cup, the way it's shaped, it's not letting the whisk get all the way to the bottom of the cup because it's kind of like this. So it was hard for me to get a good vortex in there, but still I think it did a pretty good job. Next I have the Tornado bottle, which is a portable power mixer. And it says it can blend things like coffee and tea, protein shakes, juices, cocktails, baby formula, chocolate milk, sauces, and salad dressings. And you can see it has kind of a weird little mixing blade deal inside of there. And it also has your ounce markings on the side of the cup. You also need 2 AAA batteries. So I've got the batteries in the battery compartment of the blender bottle, and it doesn't seem to be working. The button doesn't do anything when I press it, so I thought maybe it actually has to be on the bottle to work, and it still doesn't do anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these batteries out. These batteries are also brand new, by the way. They haven't been used for anything else. So just to check for sure, I'm going to pull these 2 batteries out. And I'm going to put these to the side. And I have 2 more brand new batteries. So let's just see if it was the batteries or if there's something wrong with the bottle. There we go. So just be aware that because you have brand new batteries, they may not always work. Because I bought this pack of batteries less than a month ago. So there's something wrong with either one or both these batteries. Now that my good batteries are in, I'll line this up with the notches, twist it on. Yep, there we go. I think the tornado bottle's probably aimed more at people who are going to be making things like protein shakes. You obviously cannot make a smoothie or anything in here. There's no way that these plastic blades are going to be able to crush ice. So just to start off with, I'm going to do something easy and make a little chocolate milk. I'll tell you what, the 17-year-old loves when I do these videos because I can give him just about everything that I make to eat or drink. Alright, let's put the lid on. Make sure the flapper's down and turn it on. Oh, check it out. It literally does make a tornado inside of the bottle. Let me take this off so you can see it better. That's pretty cool. As you can see, it had absolutely no problem whipping that chocolate milk up really, really quick. Now for my protein shake, again, I have water with a little whole milk in there, and I'm going to put about maybe 3/4 of a scoop of the protein powder because I don't have really a full glass. Turn it on, let's see how it mixes it up. It looks like it's mixed it up pretty well. Let's have a look at it. Oh yeah, absolutely no residue from the shake powder that didn't get mixed up. There may be a little bit up here that splashed, but as far as the milk and water, there's none in there. So I really like this thing. Unfortunately, my wife has already claimed it, and she said after I did the video, she's going to be using this to take to work with her to make her shakes. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.